In this video, guys, I want to show you how to frame a day trade using some of the features on TradingView. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got a bit of a tactical one for you today. I want to show you how to frame a day trade idea, or I'm going to show you how I kind of structure some themes for the trading day using TradingView. Now, I'll be like, okay, so what's new there? So I think that, we've always had this bit of friction, right, between how we analyze the markets and when we execute. Now we can link up TradingView directly to our broker. So how does that affect the workflow, right? Because you think you might be kind of doing your analysis on one and then you go to your broker. So how do you make it more seamless, less friction? And how do you kind of generate the trade ideas and then put them into actual orders that are ready to execute? So I'll show you a couple of examples now. So I am hooked up to Pepperstone. I've done a video where I talked about this before. Very, very simple process. You use your credentials to log in. If you haven't got an account yet, demo account takes 20, 30 seconds or so to set up, and then you're good to go and you can play around and mess around with it. I've got myself hooked up to the demo account here for now, just so we can get some stuff through, get some orders through, and not worry about any financial consequences. And I always recommend using the demo when you're playing around with it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Hopefully you're a big boy or girl, you understand the market, understand the risk and all that type of stuff. But if you do and you want to play the game, then let's go. So ATR is one of the nicest indicators out there. Why? Because it's simplicity, average true range. And when I have ATR on my daily chart, I like to use a 1 period. So a 1 period ATR on the US 30 is just going to literally show me roughly, it won't include any gaps over the weekend, but unless we have huge ones, it's kind of doesn't make that much difference. It is going to show me the range of the trading day. So ATR gives you a really simplified measure of volatility, if you like. It's not quite volatility, it's not your VIX, but it's good enough. And it's good enough for traders because what we're trying to do is we're trying to assess what we expect the range to be and then structure our trades around that. So I just want to show you specifically in this video. So ATR I've got set to 1 period. You can see we've had some massive spikes and we're still really, really high. But I want to smooth this off a little bit more. One thing you can do on TradingView, if you go to more, you can add an indicator onto the ATR. So you can have an indicator on an indicator. So I might go, right, I just want a nice simple moving average on that, bang, and I want to see what the ATR the last 20 periods is. So let's smooth it out a little bit, okay? So now I've got a reading here of what the moving average is for the last 20 periods, a kind of average of the last 20 periods days range, if you like. So that's what I've got the ATR set to 1. I've got a moving average of that. It's coming up around 670 points. Woo, that's pretty hefty. But look how that compares to what it was just at the end of last year. I filmed this, it's double. So you have to adjust and adapt to the volatility that's being presented to you. It's no use kind of trying to force something that's not. So, okay, what does that mean? So I go, right, I'll note down 670 points. I go, okay, fine. If that's my expected range of day. Now, I know some of you mathematicians and stuff are going, whoa, it's not expected. But, I just look at stuff. I try to keep things super simple and say, okay, that's the sort of range we've been doing. That's not a bad way to think and to frame my idea. So let's go back to a 5-minute now. Punch onto a 5-minute and auto. Okay, so 670 points. So what I can do, so I start off with this, and this is kind of we're working through to showing you how we can really dial in our trade idea. So 670. So what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to use this measurement tool and say, right, we've done about 620 so far today. If the high of the day is going to be exactly where it was and we're not going to move, where's 670 going to put me? So 670 is going to put me about here, right? So I want to mark that off. I want to go, okay, let me put that marker there. That's 670. And what about the low of the day is in? If the low of the day is in already, then where's 670 going to take me? It's going to take me up here. Okay, so I'm going to put my kind of level here. So what have I done now? I've basically made some assumptions and said, okay, if this high of the day is in, and that is the high of the day, it was kind of early on before the actual cash session open, and we've just driven lower. So let's assume that that's the case, and it's going to be a normal-ish day. I know it's not very normal at the moment. It's just a catalyst about the way I'm filming this. But the point is that I should expect at least a 670 point range, right? So what does that mean? So it means that if I were to get short at any point here, then I've got to look for more than just a low. I've got to look for a little bit of a stretch. Now, in this case, it's not that much more, but that's the way I've got to think. And same if I kind of went long and then we saw some sort of reversal pattern, then I'd expect it to kind of breach the high probably, because we expect that as a minimum. Now, this is a little bit of a more interesting example because it's quite wide already, and you say 670, but it can easily do kind of 630. But if you've only done, let's say 300, you're normally doing 600, and this is early on in the day, then you extend and you go, right, what do these levels mean? Well, these levels mean either a price target or a place to get positioned. So now let's kind of cycle on and go, actually, you know what? Maybe we've done most of the range today, but I still think we're in a normal type day, because if you look at it, kind of we've been oscillating around. Like the midpoint has been sitting around here, give or take, right? That's our midpoint. I'm just doing by eyeball. You can put some tools in if you want to, but we've kind of up a bit, down a bit from the midpoint, and we're oscillating around this kind of mid-level. So you might say, right, I think we're in a mean reversion environment. Where do I want to kind of get long? Where do I want to get short? Well, if you're a day trader, you want to get long on the edges of the market, right? So that might be easier said than done, but that's when we use ATR. We use our ATR on our daily and go, hey, 670 points, 700 points. That's probably the level if we're in a normal condition, rotational condition, where I might want to start fading the market. Okay, great. So I might go, right, I'm a big fan of rectangles, guys. I'm going to say, right, let me just kind of add this in. Let me put a kind of area where I'm interested in getting long. If I'm trading mean reversion, I might kind of look to kind of take that position there, because if the market gets to that level, I know it's a 670 point range, so we're on target, and then we start stretching a bit, I know that if we're in a normal conditions, and I know we're making a lot of assumptions here, and we kind of want to tick a few more boxes, but it helps us structure trades, helps us stop shorting things, going long too early, helps us just frame things a little bit better. But now I've got my levels where I might want to trade a mean reversion type trade, and I go, okay, I don't want to take it on that double bottom exactly, because really the market's shown me that it likes to go a little bit more. So why don't I try and trade something that's a little bit wider? So now I've kind of structured my levels. Where does the kind of link with Pepperstone come in? Okay, so once you're hooked up to Pepperstone, now you can structure your trades, and this is the nice way of using brackets. So on the right hand side here, I've got my order panel. What do they call it? Call it order panel. There we go. They call it the order panel. And what you can do here is you can frame your trades and put yourself in a very comfortable position where you use the tools analysis from TradingView and then start to bring that into your actual workflow. So let's say, for example, now I want to go long at around 32,850. So I'm going to put a buy limit in, and I'm going to actually just pump this one in, 32,850. Okay, I'll do 850.6. That's going to put me around here. And just double checking, that's around 180 points from where we are now. Yes, that's about right. I'm going to do half a lot just for this example. And I wanted to make sure, guys, that I like to just put in a wide bracket that I can adjust, because I don't want to be, sometimes I'm going to be fluffing around with stuff. I want to see it visually on the chart. So just double checking that everything's right. It's not going to get fired straight away. It's not great. I am going to go in. Okay, that's just, the stop is slightly lower. Okay, fine. So I can now go, right, well, that's the sort of level I'm expecting on the day. I don't really want to risk more than, let's say, 150 points on that. So I'm going to drag this stop loss up and put it around 700, so 150 points. So if I get filled on that, that's going to become active. And I might also say, actually, I think we'll come back to the midpoint. We've been oscillating around this midpoint all day. There's no reason to expect not. So I might just go, yeah, I'll just have a little smidge underneath that and stick that there at 84. So now I've got a decent risk order ratio trade, right? And I can, if I want to double check the risk order ratio, I can always go through and do the long position kind of tool, thingamajiggy, whatever we call it. What is this? Long position tool, where you structure it and you put in your stop and you kind of line it up and you go, all right, that's a decent risk reward ratio there. That makes sense. Almost 3-to-1. Maybe I want a bit wider. Maybe I'm happy with that. But you get the point. If you want to kind of go granular on it, you can do. So using that that tool. So now I've done this. I've used the tools in TradingView to generate the theme and align me with the conditions. Then I've linked it up with actually the execution tools, where, okay, fine. If we flush through that low here, then hopefully I'm going to get tagged. And if I get tagged, I'm expecting that the combination with the flush and the extreme level and the kind of expected range should line up and give me what I want. And that's how I can structure it. And I can also go the other way around. Okay, so I can also say, okay, I don't know which way we're going to go. And obviously we're much closer to the low here, so it's more likely to be hit. But let's say I want to go up at the highs there, and I go 33,600, and that's going to be 600 points higher. It's a lot higher. This is probably asking a lot. And actually, this is where you kind of think a little bit more strategically. And you go, well, actually, if we started pushing aggressively, do I really want that? But let's say you put it anyway. You say, right, put my take profit in, put my stop loss in. There's my sell limit. Bang, I am in. And again, I can hold down shift and drag the whole lot. So maybe I want it in the middle of that triangle, or I can just drag one and leave the others where they are. So I'm going to shift and drag this because I want to move that up a little bit, and then I'll move this all down. So now I'm structured in this way as well. And I say, okay, well, actually, I want to come back to the midpoint or just before the midpoint as my target, and I want to have a stop that's just above that high there. So now I've got something that's kind of a mean reversion strategy, very simple mean reversion strategy based on some kind of conditions. So I'm extrapolating out the range that I'm expecting. I'm now using TradingView's ability to put a moving average on the ATR to smooth that out for me. Then I'm now using the TradingView's order entry system and functionality to place two brackets. I've got one on the sell side and one on the buy side. And, if I go one step further, I can kind of add alerts on this. I can alert a horizontal line that I've drawn, and I can just go as deep as I want with this. But now I've got a situation where I make an assumption. We're going to make assumptions as traders anyway. I'm assuming mean reversion. I'm assuming that the range is going to be within the kind of boundaries, not go crazy. Now, we could break that, of course. That's why your stop loss is there. But if we stay in the kind of usual range you're expecting, and we are in a mean reversion environment, nothing crazy comes out headline-wise, then I'm expecting just to kiss my limit. My stop goes in to protect it, and then maybe we unwind back off. And perhaps as an extra additional, I can come in just before the close and see which one of those has been triggered. So that's a way of really structuring a kind of very logical way and frame the trade in a nice, clean way so that you're not impulsively trading, you're not diving in, you've got some kind of workflow, you've got some sort of process to the workflow, and you can just be patient now. And like I said, this is just one example. It's just a mean reversion day. I thought this is a great example. It's something that I think is easy enough to kind of take bits from that you like and discard bits that you don't. But it's the same type of thing you can do if you're trading like a momentum type strategy. Again, you can put your order in and say, right, I think it's going to pull back to here. Let me use some of maybe the Fibonacci retracement tool, add the order entry on that. It just allows you a little bit more functionality. And there's the next one. Goodbye.